gold with Vital Gold, the ultimate A to Z multivitamin and mineral.
Liesl, I've got to tell you, I'm at the ultimate point of temptation right now. There is chocolate everywhere. Dark chocolate, light chocolate, white chocolate, hot chocolate, cacao, Easter bunny eggs, Easter eggs. Oh, I feel like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. All I need now is a golden ticket to get me more chocolate.
Yes.
But Liesl was saying,
Nana. We've got enough here.
Is that enough? Can't we have more, you know? I'm sure people over the Easter weekend ate at least like 3 kilograms of chocolate each. So Liesl was saying now you can't have too much chocolate. Is that true?
Look, that's where I always make the exception because I love chocolate and you've got to practice what you preach. So as a dietitian, I do find a way to say that chocolate is good for you, but in moderation. And, you know, the worst thing is to crave the things you love most. So I would say one can make the exception over Easter weekend. I mean, I stopped counting how many Easter eggs I ate. But that is the exception.
You brought me some.
Yes, I spared a few for you. But
lovely. So let's talk about chocolate then.
You know, chocolate isn't all bad. If you look at cocoa powder, this is the actual pure cocoa powder.
Some people call it cacao. Is it cocoa or cocoa?
Cocoa or cacao, whichever way. But it's very rich in antioxidants.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that's good for you when they talk about the benefits of chocolates. Now, we've got a display here of various types of chocolate, not all equally healthy and health-promoting for us. So we've all indulged in our Easter eggs in order for that, but I think where we can, it's always best to stick to the darkest chocolate, which
like
you've
the one
got.
that I'm having right now.
Yes.
Actually, Andrea gave this to me for energy. It actually gives me a bit of an energy boost. Yeah.
Yes, there are stimulants in chocolate similar to caffeine. It's not pure caffeine, but it works in a similar way. But you'll only get the benefit if you get the cocoa powder in a concentrated format. And then many people don't realize that something like white chocolate contains no cocoa powder.
At all.
So it doesn't have those antioxidants. If you look at the cocoa powder there next to the white chocolate, you can imagine that there isn't any of that in there.
Okay, yes.
So sometimes they put in a bit of cocoa butter, but you don't get the antioxidant benefit. And then milk chocolates and hot chocolate has a little bit of that in, but the dark chocolate is always the best one.
That's the most of it.
Yes.
You're talking about all these 70% and 80% chocolate.
That's correct.
But
yes.
still, like you say, not too much of it, because I mean, there are some things in the chocolate that aren't healthy for you.
Chocolate, if nobody can eat cocoa powder on its own because it doesn't taste so good. But when they make chocolate, obviously they add sugar and fats, and that's what makes it tastes a lot better. But I'm sure now that you've eaten the dark chocolate, you notice that the texture is different to something like a milk chocolate bar. It's not as smooth and creamy and sweet. And that's because the relative sugar and fat content is lower.
Is it as bad for your teeth, though?
Well, there's still sugar in there, so it's good to brush your teeth after you've eaten sweet foods, because if some of the sugar stays beyond in your mouth, the bacteria on your teeth that forms plaque thrives on that.
Yeah.
So dental hygiene is always good if you eat sweets.
Now, I don't know if Andrea remembers, because she just said now that one can't eat cocoa powder on its own, but remember, about a couple of months ago, almost like a year ago, I think, we made a recipe, you and I, where you showed me how to mix cocoa powder with plain yogurt. Or even vanilla-flavoured yogurt.
Such a treat. If you take vanilla yogurt or plain yogurt and you mix the cocoa powder in there, if it's plain yogurt, you'll have to add a little bit of honey, perhaps, to sweeten it. Yeah. But that's one of my secret treats that
it makes an unbelievably tasty dessert.
Yes.
I must admit. But let's talk about chocolate, hot chocolate, because I mean, we've been speaking about, you know, getting your water in and whatnot. Does it matter what you mix it in that makes it healthier or unhealthy?
Well, you get different types of hot chocolate, the instant hot chocolate powder, and typically that will contain some of the cocoa powder, but also sugar. So what one can do is boil some low-fat milk and add the pure cocoa powder.
Low-fat milk, cocoa powder, yes.
And then you can sweeten it either with a bit of honey or brown sugar if you want a healthier alternative to the white sugar.
Wow, okay, well, there you have it. Alternatives for everything, there's hope. But then again, what chocolate is? I think this is one of my favorites. Oh, wow. Not too much of that, hey. Even though it's got some nuts in. Nuts have got protein.
Nuts are good for you, yes. So the thing is, the only thing that we need to be cautious of is ingesting too much sugar and too much fat. But I always find a place to work in a bit of chocolate into my daily diet.
Well done. Just like the Easter Bunny.
Yes.
So for any other questions that you may have, you're welcome to ask them on Andrea's Facebook page, Andrea du Plessis, Vital Expert. Maybe she can share with you her secret cocoa powder recipe that she makes with that lovely yogurt there. Beautiful stuff. Girls, I know, Liesl, you're going to be totally wanting to have some of this. I'll bring some to you right now.
Go for gold with Vital Gold, the ultimate A to Z multivitamin and mineral.
Stay with Espresso and SABC3.